Welcome, everybody. We're getting a slightly late start, but I'm pleased to welcome you to the third panel discussion, forum discussion that we've had under a project that we are doing for the Council on Developmental Disabilities. My name is Deane Evans. I direct the Center for Building Knowledge here at NJIT, or back over there at NJIT. And we're pursuing this project with the support of the Council and with the collaboration of the Division of Developmental Disabilities at the New Jersey Department of Human Services. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the overall project, but the main purpose of it is to create a web-based tool called DD Connect, which is a website, but more than a website, to help caregivers and people in the developmental disabilities community in New Jersey link up with each other, to share resources, to access resources, and most importantly, to essentially talk to each other online about problems they're having and solutions that they have to help each other understand and improve conditions for people with developmental disabilities in the state. So we kicked off this project by, we began to develop the website, which is now essentially complete and is going to formally launch in a few days, but you have a pre-notice on your chairs of the URL for it, and you can access it. We kicked off first with a panel just like this one on housing about 2 months ago. We did a second one on transitioning, and then we're doing this one on community resources and tools for advocacy. All three of them were very informative, had really good panels. We filmed all three of them. This one's being filmed, the third one. They will be resources under a tab called videos on the website, so you can go back and watch them or watch portions of them as you like. We have a section on resources that we've been gathering. We encourage you to send in good resources that you've got, whether they are websites or manuals or information. The videos are there, the resources are there, and then we have an area called discussion groups, which is probably the central focal point of the site, we hope, going forward, where you can, if you sign into the site, where you can talk to people on a variety of issues, including housing, community resources, and transitioning, and then others. There's a general section, there's a sort of a help wanted section where if you're looking for services or information, you can post to that and ask questions. And we're hoping that that will create a really rich dialogue amongst people within the state about this critical issue. So we look forward. We have, I think, one more formal review before it really launches out there. But you can go there first because you now know the way and it's up and functional. So please feel free to use it and to begin to ask questions on it. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce, for the third panel and the third time, Dawn Apgar, Deputy Commissioner at NJDHS. Many of you probably know Dawn in one of her many incarnations within the state. This is her latest. Prior to it, she worked in our center, directing the Developmental Disabilities Planning Institute. So Dawn, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dean. Yeah, this is a little bit of a homecoming for me because I spent 16 years here at NJIT before coming to the Department of Human Services. I just want to personally welcome you to this forum, our last of three. And as Dean said, the feedback, I think, has been really outstanding. You'll have the opportunity to hear from experts and individuals, and they'll be telling you about their experiences, and you'll also have the opportunity to ask questions. I should say that we'd like you to hold your questions until the end, because as Dean said, this forum is being filmed, so it's not only for the benefit of the people in the audience, it's also will be seen by countless others via the web. I see some familiar faces and some new faces as well. So I want to thank you for coming out. And I really am extremely excited about the DD Connect project. I'd like to say that the idea was mine, but it wasn't. But it's really a terrific example of entities working together. The Department of Human Services, through the Division of Developmental Disabilities, as well as the Division of Disability Services, has partnered with NJIT. So we've brought subject matter experts, individuals that we serve together and are using technology, I think, to connect people in a very innovative and exciting way. So I also want to acknowledge, they're not here today, but I do want to acknowledge the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities, who actually funded these panels and the creation of the website. They funded this project, and it will actually, once the filming's done and the website is launched, it will be moderated and overseen by the Department of Human Services. Today, we focus on, as Deane said, we talked about housing, we talked about transition, and today we talk about availability and access to key resources and supports. And we hear lots of questions, right? Here at the department, people are calling all the time asking about using resources, the challenges of using resources, and today we bring together subject matter experts, administrators of programs, individuals who are using those programs, families, to talk about some of those key resources. There are lots of resources out there, and so it was difficult when we were planning the panel trying to figure out what exactly we were going to be focusing in on. But we will today, since we only have a few hours together, focus specifically on personal care services, Social Security, and guardianship. I will now introduce to you the Director of Disability Services, Joe Amoroso. And since we have the cameras rolling, I just want to say a few things about Joe. I would say that we're in good hands today because there's nobody in New Jersey who's more familiar with the availability of resources than Joe. When there is a crisis at the Department of Human Services with an individual or a family, Joe is the go-to guy. So we call him up, and his I&R experience, his information and referral training, as well as his background in employment and community supports, make him someone who always has a plan and is always able to address an issue. He's really a champion in thinking outside the box. And I can just tell you, if I had a question about using a program or I had a problem, Joe would be the one that I would call. So the only fault he has is that he's only one person. And I would publicly like to thank Joe for all of his hard work. He's an asset to the department, and we're in good hands today as he's going to moderate this session, talk to us a little bit about advocacy, and introduce the panel members. So without further ado,